It was supposed to be a fun trip. Just me, Alex, my girlfriend Sarah, and my two buddies, Mike and Dave. We're into Urbex, urban exploration. We spend our weekends looking for ghost towns, abandoned factories, places that time forgot. I had finally managed to get time off work in August. Mike found this spot on an old topographical map from the 80s, a tiny settlement deep in the Appalachian foothills that wasn't on Google Maps anymore. "It's perfect," Mike said. "Nobody's been there in decades. Imagine the metal detecting finds." Sarah was hesitant. She's religious and she gets vibes about places, but she came along for the ride. We parked the Jeep about 4 miles out because the old logging road was washed away. We hiked the rest of the way. The woods felt heavy. You know that feeling when the air just feels stagnant? Like the trees are holding their breath. When we finally reached the perimeter of the village, we saw it. A large wooden cross planted right in the center of the overgrown path. It had fallen over, rotting in the mud. "That's a bad sign," Sarah whispered, clutching her cross necklace. "We should turn back." "It's just old wood, babe," I said, trying to be brave, but I felt a chill run down my spine despite the August heat. We pushed forward. The village was small, maybe 7 or 8 houses left standing, swallowed by ivy and moss. There was a weird silence. No birds, no crickets. There was one house at the far end that caught my eye. Unlike the others, which were falling apart, this one was boarded up tight, heavy oak planks nailed across the windows and doors. Behind it stood an old tobacco barn, dark and gaping. "Let's split up," Dave said, pulling out his metal detector. "I'll hit the field near the barn." We fanned out. I lit a cigarette and watched Dave walk toward the barn. That's when I saw it. For a split second, I saw a figure standing between the boarded-up house and the barn. It was short, pale, and it was watching us. I blinked, and it was gone. "Did you guys see that?" I asked. Mike looked up. "See what?" "There was a guy by the barn." And Dave laughed. "Quit trying to scare us, Alex. There's nobody out here but deer." But Mike looked uneasy. "I thought I saw movement near that big oak tree, actually, not by the barn." We brushed it off as nerves. We started digging. We found some junk, old coins, broken pottery, but the feeling of being watched was getting intense. I kept spinning around, sure that someone was standing right behind me. Every time I looked, nothing. We decided to take a break near an old apple tree in the center of the village. "This place feels wrong," Sarah said. "Can we just go?" "Yeah," I agreed. "Let's do one last sweep near the houses and get out." That's when the weirdness started. We split up again, but we kept our walkie-talkies on. I was scanning the ground near the main road when I heard it. "Alex, come here." It was Dave's voice, clear as day. But it didn't come from the walkie-talkie. It came from the direction of the old barn. It sounded calm, but slightly off, like a recording of Dave playing at the wrong speed. "I found something," the voice yelled. "Coming," I shouted back. I started walking toward the barn. I was about 50 yards away. Then something made me stop. A gut instinct. I looked to my right, toward the old well where we had eaten apples. Dave was standing there, waving his metal detector coil. He was 100 yards away from the barn. My blood turned to ice. If Dave is there, who is calling me from the barn with Dave's voice? I grabbed my walkie. "Dave, did you just call me?" Static. Then Dave's voice, tinny and confused. "No, man, I'm over by the well with Sarah. Why?" I stared at the black, gaping mouth of the barn door. From inside the darkness, I heard it again. A giggling sound, and then Dave's voice, distorted and mocking. "Alex, come here. Found something." "We are leaving," I said into the radio. "Right now. Everyone back to the trail."
We regrouped fast. I told them what happened. "I heard whispers too," Mike admitted, his face pale. "By the boarded-up house. I thought it was you guys talking." We didn't run, but we walked fast. We wanted out of there. As we passed the boarded-up house, the one that had been sealed tight for 50 years, Mike stopped dead. "Alex," he whispered. "Look." I looked at the front door. The heavy oak planks were ripped off. The nails were bent outward, as if something had pushed them out from the inside. The door was standing wide open. It was pitch black inside. "It was closed when we came in," Sarah whimpered. "I swear it was closed." "I know," I said. "Move." We walked faster. Just as we reached the tree line, about 30 yards away from the house, we heard a sound that I will never forget. Slam! The sound of a heavy door being violently shut. I spun around with my flashlight. The door of the house was closed again. The planks were gone, but the door was shut tight. And from inside the house, we heard a low, rhythmic thumping, like someone pounding on the walls. We didn't walk anymore. We ran. We ran all 4 miles back to the Jeep. We didn't stop until the tires hit the pavement of the main highway. I checked my rearview mirror the whole way home. We never went back, and I sold my metal detector. Because sometimes, when I'm alone in my apartment, right before I fall asleep, I swear I can hear Dave's voice calling me from the closet. "Alex, come here."